Hello.
Hi, I thought it wasn't going to work for a sec.
No, I apologise. I was having a bit of a wardrobe moment.
You tell. I love
Well,
wardrobe moments.
I've been on. I had this call I've been trying to be on for ages and ages, and every time they run it, it clashes with something else, and I thought, oh, F it. So I cancelled everything. I said, right, I'm on this. I'm in the middle of it, and I'm wearing stuff because I've been in the garden, like you have. And then I got buzzed into a clubhouse room on the stage, and it was all about midlife and menopause. I thought, oh shit, I really need to do this. So then I'm out of that, and I'm in the bedroom on this call doing this clubhouse thing. And then I'm back in here, and I thought, oh, it doesn't matter. I thought, no, it's on video. So I just went and because it looked
got dressed.
Yeah.
Well, I especially put on a bra for this meeting.
Yeah,
so
me too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chris said to me this morning, he said, why are you wearing a bra? I'm like, because I think I should. Said only because I'm speaking to Shirley late and I'll probably forget. So
They're such hideous things, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are much nicer without it. You look very summery and lovely.
Oh, thank you. Well, it is just for today, summery, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, really good. I sat outside for about 10 minutes and I ended up with really red cheeks and a red chest. And I thought I've just got to start getting used to it because at the garden centre we'll be back in shorts and our shirts again as soon as it does get warm, and then lots of sun cream.
Yeah, but it's not going to last, so let's
No.
excited.
No, I think it's supposed to be freezing by the weekend again.
I know, and I think this is the thing that Americans don't realise about us Brits. They can just wander out with very predictable weather most of the time.
Yes.
And so they're jumping on these calls and I'm thinking, do you realise what the weather is like outside?
It's much easier for them. Although that's cool, though, that you're getting into this rooms coach, what's it called?
Yeah, Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, I'm still slightly on the fence with it. I'm kind of on the fence with all of that right now, which is why
it's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So take your time.
You can get splinters in nasty places if you don't care. Yeah, but I think it's good just sometimes to, just go, I just am in that place where I think, no, I'll know what I'm going to do when I'm going to do it. It's okay.
I like that.
Anyway, how are you? Where's your scale? What's working? What's happening?
So I realised I hadn't really been saying much on Facebook about what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, kind of forgot about that. I'm a 9, I'm not shaken by that. And I have been thinking, what would a 10 look like, or what would it mean if I was a 10? And I think I've got the story in my head that I would have to be sorted completely to top shape and then I can be a 10. But if I've still got all my normal shit going on, then I can't be. So that's interesting. Yeah. But the good thing, the change that has happened since I've been working with you is that when I have what I would call bad days, I'm not letting it influence or shake my 9. And I haven't had a good last few days. I actually thought maybe I'm getting ill again, like I did a couple of months ago when I was a bit off centre, and then I did get ill. And I thought maybe that's coming, maybe it's a late reaction to my vaccine on Monday, but I don't know, got to like Friday, Saturday, and I was just an inch away from killing people at the garden centre, customers, and really just had enough, very irritable, quite tearful, quite tired. Chris said to me, cancel Sunday, but we're so busy and I really like my colleague and I wouldn't do that to her because she really would be on her own. And what I did instead, which I'm glad about, was I cancelled Monday and Tuesday's today's talks very last minute late notice, but they were fine with it. And this is my second day at home, just me. I made Chris take the dogs, even though he didn't want to today, because he'll have them tomorrow and Thursday. And I think I've just forgotten to have me time. Anybody who knows me, and Chris especially, knows that I need me time, and I haven't been making it, except for maybe, you know, my 40 minutes in the morning to journal and to meditate. But I don't know hormones. I don't know. I feel like I'm a hormonal mess, although my 9 isn't shaken, and that's really nice that I can separate and differentiate between the two. I kind of feel like I'm feeling quite solid in myself and grounded in myself, but I've been feeling a lot of overwhelm. Everything is just too much.
How are you managing then to separate those? Talk me through that.
I don't know. I've just told myself I'm not going to. I'm enjoying having a more concrete sense of worth, I suppose, that I've never had before. And I'm realizing, or have realized, that could be hormonal and tearful and not be having a very good time, but that doesn't say anything about me. It doesn't make me less as a person, which is what I think it always has done in the past.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm still freaked out by stuff and I'm overwhelmed and I'm crying or whatever, you know, obviously it's me and there's something wrong with me and I can't handle it and I'm not worthy, but I don't feel that anymore.
Okay, good. Right. So I know.
Which is amazing because I've never stayed solid. It's like this only solid piece in me that I've got that is unwavering at the moment.
Good. I'm really glad you've got this unwavering piece. So let's work on the other pieces. That's what we want to do.
I did think, I mean, maybe it's a combination of, because I have been quite busy, you know, lately with work, and maybe I didn't make enough time for myself. And then I was thinking this morning, maybe I need to accept that this stage of me now can't do as much as I used to do. And the normal stresses and strains that would have maybe knocked me a little bit, knock me more now. You know, I'm easier overwhelmed. I mean, and that's since last year, I think, since I think my hysterectomy. I'm easier overwhelmed. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm getting a good picture, and I think you're right. You're right, and you're on the right path when you're thinking about, oh, hang on, maybe I'm too busy. Maybe I can't. What was the phrase? Maybe I can't do
what I used to do. I can't handle what I used to handle, Shirley. I think that's it. And the last few days I've been thinking, shit, I mean, I know I've been doing the work with you, but seriously, I'm going to have to pare back even more in order just to manage.
Maybe.
That's
Let's shift the perspective on this, because I think the key thing here, what's really good is at least you've got, as you say, this solid concrete foundation. So that's there. Great. So now all this peripheral stuff where you're thinking thoughts like, I can't handle what I used to handle. Maybe I can't handle what I used to handle. And this is really, really common with menopause. You know, I did this. It's suddenly that the way we perceive and live out the version of the story that's going on is that somehow we need to be a bit less than we were.
Yeah.
And we can still, you know, no, I'm still a valuable human being, I'm still capable, but, you know, maybe I need to do a little bit less. Now, maybe you do, and this is very subtle. It's not necessarily changing the way you approach it, but it's changing the way you think about the way you approach it, if I'm
Okay.
So maybe the things that you are now saying, oh, I can't handle things I used to handle, maybe they were things you never really were that mad keen on handling. Maybe they were things you never should have been handling, because maybe you should have said, no, actually, I don't really want to do that. That's not really my thing. Or, no, I don't want to do that then, or I don't want to do that ever. Or, you know, we come up, do you remember I've said this before, that menopause suddenly brings us up against ourselves.
Mm.
And we can either fight it and we won't win. We'd just be a puddle of nothingness. Like,
Yes.
Or we can take the road that's a little bit challenging because it forces us to face things we might not have willingly faced before.
Ben. Okay, girl. That's like a lot of work sitting right there.
I know, but it's good.
Good Lord.
It's all
Lord.
good.
It's like a rewrite of everything.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it, but it's not necessarily. It can be like everything else we've done. It can be just really subtle little shifts that suddenly, oh, I didn't expect. And we don't have to, like, remember with everything else we've done, we don't necessarily know in the first step that you take and the little steps what the big outcome will be. But, you know, you've embraced this when it's come to yourself of going, okay, I don't know where this is going, but let's go anyway. Let's do this small thing and see where it takes me.
Just think that is huge. I mean, speaking for myself, probably a lot of women, but speaking for myself, you put up with, you do lots of things you don't want to do for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then menopause puts the gun to your head and says, you have to decide now or I'm going to fucking kill you.
Well, yes, kind of, but it's choose yourself or choose nothing.
Mm.
So actually what you're being asked to choose is something incredible.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's looking at that 9 and going, hang on a minute. Not just holding it and going, yeah, I'm a 9. Mm-hmm, I'm a 9. Look at me, I'm a 9. But going, hold on, what can I unpack in here? Wow. Well, I can do this. I can do that. I can do the other. I'm sure now, but I think I'll do this. Do you know what? It's beginning to unpack all the incredible things that you can do, that you're capable of doing, that you might like to do. You don't have to do them, but you might. And
you know, that part of it, you know, saying yes to the things that I actually want to do is quite exciting, and not I think what's giving me the fluttering and oh my God is I think there's a lot of things I want to say no to or change in my relationship, in my friendships, in my family. I mean, good God, they've got a fireball coming towards them.
All right then. So let's start with a small one, the smallest. Well, you don't have to. We can start anywhere. But what would you say no to?
Okay, top of my head, silly, but I realised it bugs me. I have lived here in this house with Chris for 3 years. We sleep in our bedroom, but there's a spare bedroom, which is my bedroom. So it's the way I like it to be, with all my stuff and my books and my sculptures and things like that. But we always sleep in our bedroom, which is fine. And I think that's part of the problem, is I haven't been going off and having a night on my own. But the other day I went up, I wanted to read and chill, and I just sort of walked into the room and I thought, I don't like this room. I don't like the way it's decorated. I don't like the shit on the walls. It doesn't make me feel cozy and lovely and nice. I'm a visitor or a stranger, not a stranger, that's dramatic, but you know, I'm in someone else's space. And it's ridiculous, because if he heard me say that, he'd be upset. And of course we can change anything, but I've never done it because I moved in and that's how it was. And I mean, we did paint a wall or two, but just visually, I mean, I'm all about aesthetics and beauty and lines and loveliness, and it's got none of that, because that's not important to him. He doesn't see that, which is fine, but I do, and it actually affects my well-being.
Okay, so that's a really good place to start. So what would you like to be able to do to make a start on that? If you thought you could do it, you don't have to plan it. Just think, well, what if I could? We're not agreeing to anything.
Oh God, yeah, no, we take the stuff down off the walls. We've got so many paintings and artwork and stuff, and we always talk about, rejigging things and moving things around. We can put new stuff up. So I'd like to take down what's up, except for one painting, which is beautiful too. So change the paintings and paint the walls.
Okay. And when could you do that?
Yeah. I could make it a priority. I could do it soon.
What would it take to do that?
Agree on a colour, which is fine because we're both into sort of creamy, mushroomy. Agree a colour, go buy the paint. We've got everything else we need. So it's agree the colour, buy the paint, empty the bedroom a bit, move the chest of drawers, which is very heavy, but it's possible. Take down the pictures, take out the nails or whatever, the screws, fill up the holes, and decide together what we're going to put up.
Okay. When you decide together, how is that a big part of what you want?
I don't really care who decides, as long as the stuff makes me feel calm.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Okay.
But in order to have calm, I might have to push for what I want, which I'll happily do. We've got some pieces that we both definitely like together, and some pieces less so. So we'll just have to agree that what goes into the bedroom is something we both like.
Okay. So thinking about the possibility of doing that, let's have a different scale.
Scale?
You've got your scale of sense of self is a 9, but the way you've described it is like there's a different scale in terms of you actually changing relationships.
You mean speaking up?
Yeah.
I'm still hesitant about that 10 because it feels like I need to be sorted.
Well, that's what we're doing.
And stay sorted, and.
So what does sorted look like?
Sorted is unachievable because sorted just means doing everything the right way all the time, and being this perfect model of a person who always speaks up and does the right thing. And I suppose a 10 is somebody who's not messy, but we're all imperfectly perfect, which I need to remember. And there's never going to be a time when any of us do everything exactly how it's supposed to be all the time. So yeah, I'm really resisting that 10.
What if you were to consider that your 10 is someone who always speaks up and does the right thing, but that was the phrase you used. What if you were to consider that actually that is what you've always done? What's different is how you perceive it. So you've perceived it in the past as having been wrong.
But I haven't always spoken up for myself.
No, but maybe that doesn't mean that everything you did say or didn't say it doesn't mean it wasn't the right thing, that it wasn't the perfect thing. Sometimes, are you with me?
We do as good as we can at the time, I suppose. Are you along those lines?
More than that.
I mean, whatever I have said or haven't said up to now has just been the right thing, because that's how it is. It's almost like I'd be happy to wear the 10 for a little bit, but as long as I don't have to have the 10 forever, because that feels like I'll be knocked off my pedestal, or it feels like I would have to. This is really interesting. I'm so averse to this 10, so resistant, not averse, resistant to the 10.
Who needs to give you the 10?
Exactly. I don't know why I'm being so hard on myself. Anybody else would happily give me the 10. I need to give myself the 10. Maybe I need to stop overthinking it. Just give myself the 10 and see what happens.
Well, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, why not?
I think I'm just overthinking it too much.
Well, we all do that, but I think it does come back to this speaking up and this right or wrong thing.
Yeah, the speaking up thing is a really big deal. You know what? I'm going to give myself the 10 and then we'll see what happens.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. Yeah, so if you give yourself the 10, there is nothing you can do that's wrong.
I love it.
Because when you did talk me through what you wanted to do with this room and why you wanted to do it, how did it make you feel as you were talking through what you wanted and how you'd like to do it?
I was excited about it. I just thought, yeah, that makes me breathe easier. It makes me less tense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you say, listen, Chris, this is the colour I'm thinking of for this wall, and he goes, or something similar.
Yeah, no, that's what boys do, isn't it?
I was thinking dark blue.
Yeah.
You know, what do you respond with to something like that?
Yeah, I suppose in the past it could just be, yeah, well, like whatever, it doesn't matter as long as it's a reasonable colour. But no, I think I will. It's got to be something that I like.
Yeah.
Either we both like or I like.
I think yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not having what he likes if I don't like it, even if that's what he likes, and not having it. It's got to be what I like or what we both like.
Yeah. Because you already said he doesn't actually care what his environment.
No.
Like, he doesn't see it. He's like, there's a lovely poem in, When We Were Very Young by A.A. Milne.
Oh yes, yeah.
Where the dormouse, do you know the dormouse, and they pull up his flower beds, and he closes his eyes to dream of the flowers that used to be there when they give him these horrible chrysanthemums. You can think of Chris, he just closes his eyes, he's just in motorbikes. He's fine.
He's absolutely fine.
Yeah, he's not seeing.
The thing is, I don't know why. I mean, it just hit me yesterday, the day before, when I went upstairs, and I just thought, this is part of, this is part of my feeling yucky. It's part of this, or maybe it was amplified because I'm feeling sort of what I call it hormonal. So this is bigger. But I mean, I don't know why I haven't done something about it. I suppose not everything. I suppose it felt like too much effort in the past.
Yeah, but the effort is really the effort is the argument with yourself, really, by the sounds of it, not any argument with him.
Yeah. That's interesting. How did I get to be 52? To 52 and not be speaking up for myself, or only starting to ask for what I want?
Listen, you sure as hell are not alone.
Oh.
Yeah, you absolutely are not. And I still, it's easy for me to say to you, but it isn't always easy. We're not brought up to be that way, most of us.
No.
And so
I think as a society and as a gender, definitely, you know, the fact that we women
yeah,
plays a big part of it.
so maybe that's where the resistance for your 10 comes from, is that 10, you know, if we were in the same space, that 10 is you physically stepping into something that might have been disapproved of by someone else.
And when you said someone else, I just had a mental image of my father, my father in South Africa, and then the kind of system behind him, the patriarchy, the authority, the Christianness, all these male, white, top-heavy systems in South Africa. Oppression, you know, blacks were under apartheid, but white women were definitely under oppression as well from patriarchy, from Christianity, from my dad. Did I tell you about, I was thinking about I think this was last week already, I was picturing a 10, like what would a 10 look like? I'm going to quickly draw it for you. I was thinking visually, what could it do? No, don't get excited, I can't draw. So the one was kind of, you know, like that. That was the trunk of the tree. And then the 10, the 0 was up there. And then I was thinking, you know, the symbols of male and female, like that, and like that. And the woman one is that one, isn't it? And I thought, my arms out there standing firm.
Nice.
And that was my 10, the 1 and the 0, and it's still in my tree. That's my 10.
I love it.
Because it goes with the symbol.
I love it.
Not the best tree in the world.
No, but it's brilliant.
It's like a stick tree.
Well, I'm no expert on this, but that diagram you did where you said here's the male and here's the female, but there's also yin and yang, isn't there, which would marry the male and the female. And that image you just drew, if you think about the piece of you stepping into 10, is like a megaphone. It's like that would be the masculine piece emanating from the tree.
Oh, that's quite cool. Yeah, I didn't think of that. There it is there. I don't know if you can see it. There it is there.
So it could be like, this is the voice.
This is the voice. Look at us. We are so fucking happy, man.
I know.
That's the voice. Yeah, that's what that symbol's going to be from now on. That will be. So there we are. And there we are. So yes.
Yeah.
I'm reclaiming that shit for me. That is mine now.
I mean, what you're describing, I love this. What you're kind of feeling your reluctance around the 10 is also reminiscent of the Marianne Williamson poem where she says, you know, I can never remember the lines properly, but you know, who are we not to be?
Oh my God, I love that. I keep on meaning to print it and have it framed and put up. It's so
do
good.
It.
Yeah.
That could go in your bedroom.
Do you know what I'm going to? Do you want to hear something really surprising? Yes, last week, Chris was at work, and the partner that he works with, the guy that he works with, is a 72-year-old, can be very grumpy man, and he can ruin Chris's day by being in a bad mood all day, swearing. He does all the mechanics and stuff, and I think he's a alcoholic, and he also doesn't know how to process his feelings. So there's lots of banging and shouting, and then Chris has to, and there's just the two of them. So I really feel sorry for him when he's had a day like that. And he went into work last week, I think on 2 or 3 days, and he just said to Dave, first thing in the morning, he said, come here. He said, we're starting the day with a hug. We're starting on a good note. These two big burly men.
Fantastic.
I said, a hug, really? He said, yeah. I said, like, Dave just stoned. He said, no, Dave probably hugged me. So this 58-year-old and 72-year-old man.
Brilliant.
Mm.
And
So I think the Marianne Williamson poem can go up in the bedroom, because my husband's turning into a hippie trippy.
but he just needs a little more fanning of the flames.
Yeah.
And that's you being you.
I know, I can see it. I can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
And even he's been so ill the last few days. He had his second vaccination
Right.
on Thursday, and he was fine during the day. And then on Friday, he was so ill. Friday, Saturday in bed, most of Sunday as well. I think yes, it was the first day he started to feel better, but every night still we'd say, what are you grateful for? And what did you do well today? And
This
he
is
still
cool.
did.
This is
Yeah.
cool.
That's good.
So I think you do know what 10 is like. If you start taking those steps, so identifying what you just did, whether you felt it or not, but it sounded like to me when, you know, when I said, okay, so which relationship, what would you do? What needs to change? You came up with which relationship, what was something specific you were thinking about that would make a real difference to your well-being, is having a lovely room, like a womb to retreat to at night that you can just
Want candles and flowers in there again, like I do in my bedroom.
Yeah, you want to go in there. You want to be in there. Taking those steps will give you the knock-on effect for everything else, with reducing the sense of overwhelming anxiety. It's a ripple.
I've been thinking loads about what you said last week. I mean, I know you're open-minded about HR or T, but I know you are slightly resistant to it because you do, I think, 100% believe that it can all be approached through, you know, the stuff that we're doing, the stuff that we're doing now. And I've been thinking loads about it and reading up on menopause and serotonin and cortisol and things like that. And that's when I was thinking that, you know, if things have got to change, if I've got to either scale back or cut out the things I don't want in my life anymore, or say no, it's going to mean big changes. I mean, there's going to be big changes, because I think I've done a lot of things for a lot of years that I didn't particularly want to do, but I could handle doing because it didn't really affect me. But now all of those things have just got to a stage where it's bumping up against a concrete wall where the resistance to doing those things is really strong, and I don't want to do those things anymore. And I mean, I'm still going to have that consultation with the menopause clinic person that you put me in touch with. I had a look at their stuff. It seems like you have a consultation and then they can send you for bloods, especially. And I think I might even do the bloods. Even though it's a lot of money, I'm quite keen to know where my levels are, because there's some things the doctor won't test for. I don't know what I'm saying with this. I think maybe I am getting a sense of it has to be more this, of making the changes and choosing myself. Yeah. Did you have resistance from friends, children, partner,
To
family? You must have put your foot down at some stage as well and thought, right, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. Or I don't, you know, or were there big changes, or was it all internal stuff maybe nobody's even going to notice me. Maybe it won't make a difference.
I think with me, because I let it, because I didn't know what it was, it got so completely out of control. And I had no one helping me. No,
I feel sorry for you, Shani. That's such a horrible place to be.
I had to work this all out. So you know, my default thing is retreat. So I'm not talking about it. I'm just being miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I started to, when I started to do things for myself, you know, I would say they're like, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to speak to a counsellor.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this much money in my business. And I got a huge kickback from my son, who was treating me like I was some pathetic crone.
Elderly
mind and needed a talking to from someone who was much more sensible.
Good Lord, it's because he's young. You'll be embarrassed about that conversation one day.
Well, maybe, but yeah, I mean, and I have to be mindful because I'm the strongest, bolshiest personality, although my son holds his own pretty well. But yeah, sometimes I think what shifted for me, and it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. So for me, it was moving away from a kind of childlike, which would be my default position. You know, let's make everybody feel really shit so that they'll give in and then you can have what you want.
Yeah.
Into a kind of, okay, I just need to be grown up and tell you about this thing, irrespective of how you might respond to it.
And that sounds like changing from whiny asking to telling how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite a big shift. So deciding for yourself, for myself, what it is I want, which I have done in really big decisions in my life. I've retreated and come to my own conclusion and then announced it. And I know friends at the time and a partner was upset with me because I didn't discuss it with them, but I didn't want to be waylaid by anyone's opinion. So I have made really big decisions.
Right. And me too.
And they've always been the right ones.
They've always been the right ones. Yes. So I come back to maybe you've always done the right thing, even though you think you haven't.
Yeah.
Whatever
and you instinctively, if I say them, I'm going to get resistance because people bring their own shit. When they resist, it's about them. It's not about the actual situation on hand.
Yeah.
Maybe I have always done, and I have always done that. Maybe I've just kind of lost my way the last year or so with. Yeah. I'm feeling not untethered, unmoored. I suppose in this last year or more. But then I've got to remember there's been big changes as well. You know, COVID from the end of February, life as I knew it changed in February from, you know, I had my massage business 16, 17 years, the workstation assessments for 10 years, same customers, clients every month, and then nothing since February of that.
Yeah.
You know, and from living and working in London to being out here, so still getting used to being here, and then my job at the garden centre. I suppose there have also been big life changes in conjunction happening, you know, parallel with menopause rearing its head. Yeah,
they have. And to come back to you recognizing that you've always made those big decisions and they've been right. There are echoes with what I've been like, and I think that the difference of moving to you with your, okay, I'm a 10, that's it, I've decided I'm a 10, I'm having these conversations, the subtle difference is that I'm guessing, based on what you said, that is similar to the way that when you've come to those decisions in the past, the toing and the froing of the conversation of that won't work because, like, you have that conversation in your head. You imagine the conversation you're having with someone, even though you're not having it. And you've come up with all the counters you can come up with. And then you go, no, this is what I'm doing. And then you announce it. And it's the right decision for you. The subtle difference, I think, in moving forwards now with, and the outcome could be identical, well, probably will be identical, but it's, for example, saying, listen, this room isn't working for me. I really need a space where I can feel, I'm at home. It's got my colours. It's got my things on the wall. It's a place where I want to be. It's really important to me. That's just a statement. And then you follow up with here's what I'm thinking. I was thinking it'd be really nice to have this colour on. Do you know what I mean? So you're sharing it, and it is what you want, and it is what you're planning. But it's not just dropped. It's not just dropped like a bomb on Coventry.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't, because those decisions in the past that I made were about me, although 2 of them involved relationships, and they just found out. But yeah, we're a partnership, so it's not going to be, I'm not going to drop a bomb. It will definitely be a discussion.
Yeah. But a discussion where you're quite clear, you're coming into the discussion with a sense of what you want. Yeah,
definitely. Yes, not just a discussion and see where it goes, but actually this is the focus. This is, ideally what I'm after.
Yeah. And I because you can see the difference between the way a woman might traditionally approach that, like you're having your mind, okay, the wall's going to be a mushroom, picture's going to be here, cushions over there, and it's in our heads, and then we go, I was thinking of changing the bedroom, what do you think, darling? And they go, what do you want to change it for? And do you know what I mean? Instead of, here's the plan.
Yeah, instead of here's the plan, and also why, why
yes.
I want
yes.
to do it. Not just here's the plan, but this is how it makes me feel, and I want it to be cozy for both of us and more welcoming. And we've been talking about, we have a television screen in there that hasn't worked for 2 years. We've got a donkey's head hanging on it. Don't ask. That needs to come. That needs to come down, and we both just haven't made the effort. He's very low in motivation. He was last year. I was quite depressed with COVID, and he is again so now. So I understand why things haven't been happening, but I could definitely, I've got enough excitement for both of us to get it done, basically.
Yeah, and it could be a nice shared project to bring the energy back in. And so now we've talked about it, how does it feel, the prospect of actually following through on that?
Oh yes, it's happening.
Yeah. So once you've done that, that's your first ripple. You don't have to do anything else right now. Just do that, and then next time we speak, there'll be something else.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, just a little ripple.
And it's not funny, is it? But it's amazing how things like that can make a difference. And I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm such a visual person. I'm so into aesthetics and things looking inviting in a certain way, but then still telling myself, well, it's not really important, it doesn't matter. But actually it does matter, because it matters to me.
It totally does. And that was actually, I mentioned
it matters to me.
It matters to you, and I'll mention this right at the beginning, but we'll come back to it. It's fine. It's really common, and you've made huge progress where you've recognized, I need this space that's just for me, and we call it me time, and there's huge value in that. So as I say this, please don't think that I'm suggesting there's not, but the shift to your 10 is that why would time that's me time be kept in a pocket of the day?
Exactly what I've been thinking the last 24 hours.
Why isn't every moment of your day
Me time.
Yes.
For me. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It just really hit me yesterday. I thought, this is ridiculous. I mean, okay, I finally, so it's from one thing, from one extreme to another. I cancelled work for 2 days. I've got the house for myself. I've done so much pottery and sketching. It's absolutely
Brilliant.
gorgeous. It's so wonderful.
Brilliant.
And I just thought, well, why am I not doing more of this? Why am I waking up? I mean, why am I waking up before everybody else to get some me time? And when, for fuck's sake, we're 2 adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we've got 13 mouths to feed. But like, why aren't I incorporating it in my day? And I think I think maybe because I've been so hormonal, I've just forgotten. When I moved in here, I was very adamant about, I still had nights where I slept in my bedroom, and nights where I would go upstairs and read all night because that's what I want to do, or bath and a podcast upstairs and read because that's what I want to do. And I haven't been doing any of it. And
well, there you go.
It's only down to me. There's been no reason why.
So to come back to the hormones,
it's blame everything on the menopause.
Well, yeah, but it's chicken and egg, isn't it? Because
so hard.
You're right, but at the same time, by doing the very things that you realise you've stopped doing, that will minimise the overwhelm.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti hormones and HRT. I'm absolutely not. What I'm anti is one size fits all, everybody does the same thing. And I'd be anti working with me if what you really need is hormones, which is why I'm now talking about collaborating with the online menopause clinic. So I will be offering, as part of what I do, here's a hormone thing. If this is your thing, then people can book it through my website.
What, the people I contacted?
Yes.
Layla, whatever surname I can't pronounce.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's exactly right. It should be a more holistic approach, because I'm even wanting them to say to me after doing my bloods, yes, you could go on hormones, but actually you could also do X, Y, and Z and you'd get there as well. Unless I want a professional's opinion, like, am I bad enough? Do I actually need HRT, or should I just keep working at what we're doing now?
Yeah.
I think that's an awesome collaboration.
Yeah. And that's again where you come into being you decide. I mean, that's part of you being a 10, of you deciding. If you say, no, I need some HRT as well, that's part of what I want for me, that you're the only person who can make that decision. But you need to be given people that are actually going to be honest with you and not go So,
and people who know what they're talking about, and the fact that she is a menopause specialist is perfect. I've never spoken to a specialist. It's always just been the doctors, and they really don't have the training. They look it up online, they Google it while I'm there. They don't know. They only know what the book tells them and stuff about dosages and stuff. So no, I'm looking forward to getting, I think I speak to them on the 6th, or I don't know, no, not the 6th, the 11th or something. I'm looking forward to it.
No,
it'll be interesting
what you think of them, because I had a conversation with them just yesterday, day before. So they're putting together a web page that I can use, so if people come via me, they can book.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that.
And I'll do really good blogging for them and vice versa. So we'll see.
Absolutely. And that's what we need. And that's what you don't see, because the HRT stuff has always just been, it's a very divided camp. There's a lot of women who are so anti it, and it's got to be through diet and exercise, and I just want to hit them in the head. Then there's the ones who swear by HRT, and really there's got to be the ones in the middle as well, where a bit of both work, or it doesn't have to be good and evil, but there is so much. I mean, I always look up on Mumsnet, when I want to look up for like side effects of medication, because the mums just, go for it. And the HRT, just like hysterectomies, people are so against it or absolutely for it. And what happens to everyone in the middle?
Well, I think that's what I want to try to create is a place where you can actually trust what you're being told, because it's not that people are lying, it's just that they will jump on their own bandwagon and they'll say, oh, take this oil and that supplement and massage with your leg in the air, and but it's not helpful because it just confuses people that are already confused and just need
it's got to be bespoke, it's got to be individualized. I'm super excited for you.
Well, I'm just thinking, because I promised I'd do you a little bit of hypnosis today, because we haven't got Friday's session.
Do we have time? I don't know what the time is.
8 minutes.
Yeah, that's time.
We've got time.
That's time. And hopefully in those 8 minutes, the dogs and husband will be at work still. I'm going to keep my hoodie on because it's a bit...
Is it cool in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So just close your eyes. Get yourself solid and grounded. Just the way any good meditation coach would advise you. Nice and grounded. And you can think about your breathing or not. You know well enough that it really doesn't matter. This is time for you. Of course, all time is for you. Every moment, every second of every moment is time for you, is your time. There's only you who can live it, only you who can experience it. There is only you. And as each moment passes, you move from the past to the present to the future. In the blink of an eye, the past is gone, the present is gone, and the future is about to be. But every moment is yours. And who you travel through this time with is also of your choosing. So as you're solid and grounded here and now, aware of time that passes, and curious about who you are from one moment to the next, whether you're the same person now as you were just moments ago, whether the person you call myself is unchanged from the person you called myself just an hour ago or this morning, and can choose to change at any moment. Time does not define you. As you ground yourself solid and grounded, I wonder where you find yourself. Perhaps enjoying simply remaining curious. You will have a concrete sense of worth. You're ready to step into a 10 from a 9, picturing the trunk of the tree and the branches, and finding your voice projecting out. But there's so many different ways to be, to imagine being, and as you imagine being, you are. And as you change the painting that perhaps represents in some small way you, in the shape you take, who you are, who you really are, as the light begins to emanate from within, not just projected upon you, but shining out. You choose the visual metaphor that has the most power and the most meaning in this moment, painting the picture. Perhaps it is a little like the picture on the recording that you perhaps still or used to listen to at some point in the past, the picture on the wall that kept the entire village happy and safe. And remember the night when the thief that was invited in and welcomed took the picture away, and the village were crestfallen and worried and sad and confused and lost, until a small child gave them the bright idea that they could paint a new picture. They could paint the walls any way they choose. They could pick their colours, their paints. They could choose empty walls or walls filled with colour and drama. They could choose softness and light, drama and perspective, beauty and flowers. They could pick whatever they choose. They could paint a picture, untethered from someone else's expectations. It can feel delicious in one moment to feel the sense of groundedness, but at the same time, in the same moment, being the person who is free and allows thoughts and creativity and artistry to be untethered and unmoored, to fly, to drift and wander with no intention but discovery. Immersing yourself in discovery and discovering perhaps that you can handle way more than you ever believed was possible to handle in this time that is yours. Time for yourself, now and now and now. Exploring, wandering down avenues, exploring the beauty and the loveliness, the aesthetics of the moment, of you. Speaking up through words and actions, allowing yourself to take shape, your shape, the shape of time, of moments, of life, of colour, of whatever you choose. No need to sort anything. You are complete, solid and grounded, but also untethered and free. So allow yourself now to tether or fly with your turn and yourself, your sense of self and time. Always yours, now and now and now. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story of the painting as well. I forgot about that. That's such a good story.
I realised as you were telling it, I thought, oh, that sounds like the painting. I remember.
Yeah. Oh, boys, are you home? Oh,
I heard the little bit of
did you
stuff.
hear?
I thought, perfect timing.
They came belting in because they haven't seen me for a full 7 hours. Way too excited.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you for that. That was lovely. Today's been really, well, every session is really helpful and illuminating. Again today. So thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. So I look forward to, we're on for next Tuesday now. Next Tuesday.
We are.
Next Tuesday, oh my goodness, the 6th of April.
I know. I think we've only got 2 weeks left. Is that right?
We have. So what we'll do, all of the sessions will be sessions. So I'm not going to use up any sessions talking about what you might or might not want to do afterwards. And if you want, because I want the sessions to be your
Be
sessions.
the sessions, yeah. Thank you.
But what we'll do is we'll set up another time at the end, and we can talk through, you know,
Going forward.
yeah, what you feel like is right for you, where you are in your head,
Yeah.
And
that would be good if that's a separate one. We just use the sessions as their
Yes.
sessions. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Shirley. That's great.
Righty. Well, have a
Right.
lovely Easter.
Oh yeah, it's Easter. Huh. You're going to see, I think we can meet with people now. Are you going to do family stuff at all?
Well, my son is and has always been in a bubble with us, even though he lives about 25 miles. He lives in Bristol and we live in Bristol.
Okay.
But he lives on his own. And most of the time he's really busy working and we can't be in the same space for too long. But he's coming at Easter, so.
Okay. And I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. I don't think it's going to be Eastery. I think it's going to be quite nippy and cold and stuff. So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping my best friend comes to stay for a couple of nights.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it could be nice to catch up with her. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good break.
You too.
Thank you. And I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thanks.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Shirley.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.